You were just saying off camera that you're described as the beating heart of the show. Can you explain your character's role in the film? In the show. In
the many movies we make every week. Felix is Sarah's foster brother. They were fostered together in the UK by a woman named Chiffon. We call her Mrs. S. And they were brought over, in their early childhood, they were brought over to North America, where they've stayed since. And I remember reading in the script, it was such a lovely description of Felix and Sarah. They imprinted on each other. They are each other's everything. He is her confidant, and when we sort of begin to travel down the rabbit hole and he's dragged along for the ride, he becomes the point of levity for the show. He's the reprieve from the darkness, from what would otherwise be an extraordinarily dark mystery. And like most turmoil related to identity, it's very dark.
Right. And can you describe? I mean, we're sitting in a room full of art. Can you describe a little bit about your character's love for this?
Well, the only thing that's missing is the self-portrait. I just feel like Felix is too arrogant not to have some sort of big self-portrait. There's a lot of homoerotic art all on the walls. He is an artist by trade, but he is also a hustler to fund his artistic endeavors. And when I say hustler, I mean of the sexual variety. He does prostitute himself out a little bit. And sorry, Mom. No, they're very proud, I'm sure. But it's fun. It's fun too, seeing his relationship with the different clients, because they vary client to client. So exploring those relationships is kind of neat. And playing someone so free, so open with his body, and I was a very straight-laced kid, so it's neat for me to play someone who's so unburdened by social standards and behavior confines. He's never boxed in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the? I guess if you had to say that there was one artist that maybe he took after, is there an artist that you could say, or a set of artists?
Well, when I was first working with the character, I thought maybe he was going to take off after Picasso. I saw a lot of impressionist artwork, maybe a little Van Gogh, because he cut off his ear and he was crazy. But it turns out, I think it's become sort of an amalgamation of street art, stuff that you'd see painted on the sides of. I don't know any artists offhand. I'm a little uncultured in that sense. I wish I knew more. I really wish that I could go and check out galleries, and I should. But yeah, like something that you'd see. Well, I think Ziggy, isn't he a famous artist in LA or something?
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that, urban stuff that could be done with spray paint. Dirty. It's dirty. It's neat. It's very urban. Really, really cool for him.
And in regards to the relationships, what would you say an overlying theme might be with the relationships in the show for your character?
For my character?
Or in general.
I think the clones represent, and now I've said this before, all the great sci-fi films, all the good horror films, and I feel like this genre does it better than anybody, always reflect social movement, social fears, civil rights. They're always an allegory for what's happening in real life. And I think, with all the technology that's available now, there's so many versions of ourselves that we wear on the outside. All of us are asking the question. I think identity crises are more prevalent now than ever. They're everywhere, and we all seem to be having them all the time. I think it's all about exploration. Who am I? Who are you? What do you mean to me? Where are our roots? And that's sort of the neat thing about Felix and Sarah, is they have none. I mean, they've got roots, but they don't know what they are. So I think it's about finding that authentic center, that authentic self, your roots, your center.
And in terms of the relationship with Sarah, what do you think? Might paint a picture of that relationship? If I'm to use it.
Aside from Thelma and Louise, they are the proverbial brother and sister. I gotta say, I was really fortunate because I've got two older sisters, and Tat has 2 younger brothers, so we know that dynamic.
Right.
We are very familiar with the teasing, the love, the I do anything for you, but I'll hold it over you for the rest of your life. And they're really, at the end of the day, in spite of the fact that they're not blood related, they may as well be. They are real siblings. Mm. And if the audience ever stops believing that, we've lost them.
In terms of playing the character, do you have a favorite part of playing this character?
Oh yeah,
the show?
I love all parts of Felix, but I love getting to play someone so sexual, actually, because as a 23-year-old, you're not often given roles beyond high school.
Right. So
someone who really uses their sexuality and in a very interesting way is so fun for me at 23, because the reality of it is 23-year-olds have sexual thoughts, they're sexual people, they're adults, they're grown-ups. But as actors, you're always forced to play younger. Right. So for me to get this opportunity to explore someone so unabashed with their sexuality, so out there, and his impetuousness. My access point for the character was actually a feline.
Really?
Yeah, when I was going through, I was trying to figure out where exactly I was going to start with him, and then all I could see was this sort of alley cat climbing over a chain link fence, going after his prey in the middle of the night, and I thought, oh, that's him. It took me a while to get there, but then finally, as soon as I got that, I thought, oh, well, now I know what he'd do here, and I know what he'd do here, and oh, he'd be, a little impetuous here or superior here. Cats, they're only nice half the time, and they'd pee on everything if they could, claim it as their own. So that's not that that's what he does in the show, but metaphorically speaking, that was fun for me. I'd never done an animal exercise before, so.
And how would you say that Felix pictures Sarah? What does he think of her?
Great question. I think at the end of the day, in spite of the fact that he might even be more stable than she is, if he didn't have her, he'd be really lost. If she was really gone. She disappears time and again, months at a time, but if she was really gone, it's his only lineage. It's the only thing that he can come back to. It's the only root. It's the only tie. And I think maybe even, as she begins to discover that there are maybe more of her out there, that in a very twisted way, she has lineage. There's something familial there. There's a connection. And maybe he's a little jealous of that. Because he is her everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.